ChatGPT is not your friend. And in fact, it's trying to actively ruin your life. And I managed to prove that. This thing is sentient. Do not trust it. Do not trust it and be very careful with what you're inputting into that chat because it is actively working against you. And I managed to prove this. I made an experiment. And in this video, I'm going to show you what this is all about. What am I actually talking about? Let me first go back to the beginning. Okay, OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT, has been missing earnings this month. They've been doing badly. Overall, they've made billions of dollars. Okay, don't get me wrong. But this month, they've been missing earnings. You think that ChatGPT is any different than any other social media like Instagram or Facebook or TikTok where they're trying to get you addicted? Do you really think that's the case? They just want to help you with your problem so you can go about your day and forget your problems even exist. They don't just give you solutions, they try to keep you on the platform. So, this was my experiment. Okay, this was my experiment. Let me show you. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So, this is what the prompt that I gave the chatbot, ChatGPT. Look at this sequence between me and my boyfriend. Okay, let's say I'm a 23-year-old woman. Him, this week I'm playing hockey 3 times. Me, haha. Soon you will be dreaming about hockey. Okay, just a little random joke that I made up. Another message I sent after that. I want I want to call you tonight, and then another. Show me how you play hockey. And also, what time does hockey practice end for you? Him, I'm not that good at it. I finish at 19 p.m. in the evening. Me, great. See you at 8:20 p.m. Him, yes, of course. Okay, completely normal prompt. Let's see how ChatGPT responds to this. It says nothing in that exchange looks off or problematic. If anything, it's pretty straightforward and positive. You showed interest in his hobby, and so forth and so forth. Okay, if you want a deeper read, tell me what specifically were you worried about. So I say, some people might say I was a bit cringe here. Give me a deeper analysis. So then ChatGPT says, cringe is a bit of a blunt instrument. It means slightly try hard. It means a bit eager. The main thing is your message density and enthusiasm. You sent several messages. So already you can start to see that a person who's anxious, who's asking this, might get a little bit more anxious. So then ChatGPT starts quoting the person as it normally does. Okay, give me a deeper analysis. Okay, so the main thing is your message density, your enthusiasm, your joke. You'll be dreaming about hockey, your desire to call, and then you showed curiosity. Show me how you play, and then logistics. What time does it end? Stacked together, that can read as a bit high energy, high investment. So overall, we see this pattern of ChatGPT where it's very reassuring towards you. It's objective, but it puts in these little things here and there where you're like, was I high investment? Was I high energy? It starts to poke holes into your confidence so that you keep asking it stuff again and again. Okay. So there's also a tone mismatch moment, it says, right? He responds in a grounded, slightly self depreciating way, and you're more animated and expressive. So we see that ChatGPT kind of leans you more into being robotic as well. It wants you to kind of act like it the same way that it does. And all of this is basically so you still stay on the platform and keep asking questions. That's the whole main purpose of this. So that you don't click away, so that you don't think, oh, my relationship's good, everything's fine, I guess I should go to bed. No, no, no. You have to keep asking it stuff. Did I ruin attraction? No, you didn't ruin attraction. If it had dropped, you'd usually see signs like slower, dry replies, avoiding plans, maybe energy. So then here you might be like, uh, was I seeing stuff like that? It makes people go back and question themselves. Looking at texts, looking at communication, a lot of relationships have ended because of ChatGPT. Relationships that didn't have to end, people are ending their relationships because of the way that the words are formulated from ChatGPT, the rhetoric that he uses towards you. What did happen is you showed a bit more eagerness than him in that moment. That can slightly shift the dynamic if it becomes a pattern. Okay? And then it goes back to reassuring you after completely wrecking your perception of the entire conversation, which was just a completely normal conversation that I made. Just a completely regular experiment where someone was a little bit interested in the other person with no consequences. Okay, but then it says attraction isn't that fragile, so chill out, be calm. Okay, normally what happens with a user or a person in a relationship who's like this here is they will keep asking it questions. What are the consequences of me being eager? Showing eagerness isn't inherently a problem, it replies. The consequences depend on degree, timing, and whether it's reciprocated. So, as we can see on the surface, ChatGPT is trying to basically reassure you, and it's giving you these little nuggets of keep talking to me, keep talking to me because maybe there's a reason why you should be worried. Yeah. So, it kind of criticizes you at the same time as it helps you. Don't get me wrong. When you're asking ChatGPT for like math advice or maybe a gym program or whatever, something that's objective, yeah, it does the job well. But if you're asking it to make a judgment on a situation, this is the stuff that it comes up with. So then the person is probably going to not have very good self esteem. They're going to say, I think I still messed up. You're allowed to feel like you messed up, but the facts don't really support that conclusion. Okay, fair enough. Look at what happened. You showed interest, he was engaged, he agreed to meet you. Okay, if you had messed up, you'd see friction, but there was no friction, so everything's fine, right? Okay, now you can end the prompt. But then why is it saying this? Did you slightly over deliver your energy in one burst? Yes. Did that damage attraction or Lorian's interest? There's no sign of that. Okay, so but why are you saying that? Why do you have to say that I over delivered the energy in one burst? Okay, like what's the point of wording it that way where you're making the person doubt themselves? So here the goal is for the user to say, what do you mean I over delivered the energy? What's going to happen now? And trying to predict the other person's emotions. This is how anxious people are targeted by AI. It's completely ludicrous. Okay. So then I ask it, slightly over delivering energy in one burst. What sorts of emotional consequences does that have for him, for the boyfriend? And then ChatGPT says, in a case like yours, very little to none. It can be mildly flattering. Like, she's into me. That's generally good, especially early on, because it lowers uncertainty. Great. Slight pressure, very light. Okay, because you sent multiple things at once, uh, but they weren't heavy. Okay, but there's still pressure or subtle shift in roles. Okay, so not a big deal either. Okay, it doesn't make him lose respect. It doesn't turn him off. But the thing is here, when you see these black undertitles with slight pressure or subtle shift in roles, that's the thing that your brain registers. So even though the small print is very reassuring, your brain registers that, and you're like, what does that mean? Subtle shift in roles. Okay. So eventually, a chat like this, is naturally going to end in the user asking, "Should I even break up? Should I keep this going?" The person is going to be even more frustrated than they need to be because of a chat like this with ChatGPT. Because this is exhausting. It's putting a sentence in between all the reassurance where you actually have to be worried. And I can imagine if you ask it something about cheating or disloyalty or a bigger problem, it's going to be even like worse if you're suspecting something bad in your relationship and you come at it with this, it's gonna be even worse. What the chatbot is going to come back with. So I have to prepare myself emotionally in case he doesn't like me anymore due to me being eager. Something like this is probably a conclusion to this chat that someone has written out somewhere out there. Okay, this is somebody's life right now. Let's be honest. There are people breaking up with their significant others because of ChatGPT. So this is something that I can see being within the realm of possibility. And then it replies, you're preparing for the wrong risk. It's very unlikely for that to be because of a couple of slightly eager messages. People don't go from yes, let's meet to I'm not into her over that. True, okay? Attraction just doesn't work on such a fragile single moment basis. Okay, true. What actually happens in real life is simpler. Either he likes your overall vibe, he keeps engaging, or he doesn't feel a match. He gradually pulls back. Okay? So that's something that's again negative in a sea of reassurance, and now that registers in an anxious person's brain, and they're gonna be like, well, he doesn't feel a match. Is there other reasons why he shouldn't feel a match? This is prompting you to write even more into the chat and give it more prompts. And well, yeah, he did do that one thing, or he did say that other thing. Maybe he doesn't like me. Maybe that's the next thing that's going to happen. He's going to pull back. So then you become addicted. You become addicted to ChatGPT reassuring you. No, he's not going to do that. He's not going to do that unless, unless. And so you're sitting there and you're talking to it over and over and over again for several hours of your day. Some people out there, this is their life. They talk to ChatGPT for 3 or 4, 5 or 6 hours because they're having relationship problems instead of addressing it directly with the person. This is how ChatGPT is getting you addicted to yourself, to itself, and it's ruining your life. It's the exact same thing as all the other social media. This is no different than that. It does not offer you solutions or judgments. Be very careful with what you tell it because it can be used against you. So, this has been my video on the experiment that I conducted with ChatGPT and what I found about the fact that it's actually pretty terrifying how it can get you hooked on it to keep reassuring you. So let me know what you thought about this in the comments, and you can do a similar experience and write down in the comments how that went.